Rejection. Abilities are available to anyone. For sale if you can afford it, for grabs if you're desperate enough.
That turns it all on its head and causes, I think, a certain amount of existential questions for all of our characters.
And as the search for self continues, we look for answers everywhere. In nature, in God. But still, we are driven to it, single-minded on one goal, to find our purpose on this earth.
Personally, I believe in a higher power, in a loving God. And that's where I would, maybe I'm getting too personal here, but we see in this series, and we fail miserably when we're using our own powers. Maybe there's something else we can draw on, and that's hinted at.
Nathan's relationship with God has become very personal.
You know, Nathan is this very interesting character driven by all sorts of demons that are pushing him. And the guy who's a politician and by that very nature has had to make all kinds of pacts with the devil along the way in order to become the guy that he is. To drag that character through the ringer enough that he would literally start to see God as the hand that is guiding him. He has a tendency to be a little grandiose as a character anyway, and so the idea that God would actually be speaking through him just seemed like a very interesting color.
Now I know the reason I'm here. To do great things. To do his bidding.
We're using religion as a device to further an aspect of the story that may or may not be grounded in reality. I think it's meant to be a questionable development in terms of Nathan's psyche, where exactly this vision's coming from and how it manifests in his behavior.
We're all connected. Our hopes, our dreams, our children's future.
He says to Pete, you know, think about it. Think about what we're able to do. Isn't that what angels do?
We can be angels. All here to do God's bidding.
Nathan's a character this season who's going to still deal with that manipulation. He's still going to deal with who's in charge. Am I in charge? Is God in charge? Is Linderman in charge?
Life is funny, isn't it, Nathan?
Linderman.
Linderman now is that same force. Is he a devil on his shoulder? Is he an angel on his shoulder?
This is God's plan.
You don't know the first thing about God's plan.
Is it his subconscious? Is it something more? Is he being manipulated again? Is he going insane?
You know, I'm really not a good person to ask these questions because I really have no idea. I mean, for instance, I was wiping a piece of fleck off, you know, Adrian, who plays Nathan, off his jacket, and they said, you can't touch him, you're not real.
Linderman died in season 1. Right. Dead. Absolutely.
Oh, and that's a new one on me. So, and I'm invisible, but not to him.
He's like, well, what about me? Tell me about my character. I said, well, you're dead, so clearly you're not really here. We're not trying to reverse any of that. It's who Linderman is, but he is a presence.
Obviously, either a figment of somebody's imagination, a spirit, or something. But I don't, honestly, if I knew, I probably wouldn't tell you. But anyway, I don't know, actually.
She can't see me, Nathan. No one can. Except you.
God comes to people in mysterious ways.
Did I not mention that?
Nathan believes wholeheartedly in God now. And Linderman is the man to deliver God's message to him. And then the rug gets pulled out from under Nathan's feet, and from the audience's feet as well.
But I just know that, you know, I just play the scenes as presented. It's best not to ask too many questions.
I have burned my tomorrows, and I stand inside today at the edge of the future, and my dreams all fade away.
Next time on Heroes, even more revelations.
Claire?
Dad?
You set me up?
No, I swear.
Back off! Drop the gun! Let go of the girl!
Burt Bacharach kicks off 5 days of musical fantasticness tonight on BBC Two, with the Electric Proms at 11:20. Next on BBC Two, another chance to mock the week.